Now when it comes to creating charts, first of all you need some data that you can base that chart off of, and you have many different charts to choose from. Come up here and click on the Insert tab and go to the Charts group. You can have column charts, line charts, pie charts, based upon the data that you have within your spreadsheet. And in this case I actually have some databases, 3 of them. I have a table here of data, another table down below, and if you watch the table training videos you know that these are tables because in the lower right hand corner you see that little blue tick mark. That indicates everything up and to the left of it within that range is a table. So I have 2 tables. Scrolling down a little bit more I have a mini database that's not a table. To give you an idea, when it comes to like creating a chart for such a small amount of data here, I may use a pie chart because that one is just dealing with one slice at a time. A slice for the IT staff, one slice for customer service and their values. Scrolling back up, these other charts has a little bit more data, a little bit more complex. I may want to use a column chart. You can see up here a column has different colors of columns. One color will represent the books, another column will represent the MP3 music downloads, and if I had more information I could have additional columns with different colors to represent each of those data sets. So to create a chart, just go ahead and click anywhere within, this case, the table or your database, and then come up here to the Insert tab to the Charts group, and then click on the column drop down arrow. I want to create a column chart here. I'm going to come down to the 3D section and click on the 3D clustered column. When I click on it, it automatically creates the chart. Now the reason why you didn't have to select the whole table here or the database is because what happens is when you click in one cell it brings in all the adjacent cells. Of course you have some gaps here, so that's why it didn't pull in this table as well. All I have to do to move this chart around is to hover over the border, and then I get a 4-way black arrow. Just click on the left mouse button and drag it up, and then I can put it right next to my table here. Now if I need to change the size of the chart to make it larger or smaller, you can hover over any one of these handles here, the right middle handle or the bottom right hand corner handle or the bottom middle handle and so forth. But if I hover over the right middle handle until it turns into a 2-way arrow, I can click and drag and stretch that out. I'm going to go ahead and hit the undo button. I can also do it from the corner. If I click and drag the corner, it allows me more flexibility when it comes to stretching it horizontally and also crunching it in vertically. But if I hold down the Shift key, notice how it pops right out. Using the Shift key will keep it proportional so it doesn't stretch it too much horizontally or too much vertically. So I come up with a disproportional chart here and then let go of the mouse. Of course I'm fine with just clicking and dragging it and holding down the Shift key and making it proportional here and letting go, and it's kind of tiny. Down at the bottom is my horizontal x-axis, what they call the category axis, and it's got all the labels, my months January through December. And then over here on the left side is what's called the vertical value axis or the y-axis of the chart, if you remember your days in algebra here. Now you got a bunch of numbers here, and these numbers don't define what the sales of books are or the MP3 downloads. It's actually the bars within the chart itself. When I hover over the red you can see it says MP3 and the actual value is $825. Or you can come up here and kind of eyeball it along the axis among the grid lines here. But again, hovering over the bar gives you the specific detail. And then looking at the legend here, it says, well, anything in red is your music downloads, and then of course your blue is for books. Let's do another chart. I'm going to come down here and click in this table here, sales on fantasy books, and then come up here and click on the Insert tab. Now instead of clicking one of these drop down arrows, if I want to see all of the charts available, I can click on its expandable dialog box button for the charts group here. Opens up, and I can scroll up and down and see the different categories. There's bar, there's area, and so forth. Or I can just go right to the group. Like let's say I want to do a line chart. I'll click on that. It takes me right to the line group here. It still shows me the pie and the bar and the other categories, but by default you can see it's in orange or highlighted this particular line with markers. If I like it, I can go ahead and double click on it and it pops open and creates it, and all you have to do is click and drag the border down so I can put it right next to this table. Let's scroll down just a little bit and go over the line chart. Now as far as the legend goes, anytime you see these little diamond markers here, that means it's a milestone here within the chart. So first of all I have my x-axis or category axis with all the months, and then the values here, the value axis, the actual dollar amounts. First of all in January there's the first milestone at $300, right? You can see it right there. Looks good, and there's a specific point right here. Now without actually hovering over this, I could try to eyeball and say, well, that's about 175, but when I hover over it, it pops up 175. Okay, let's do one more. Scrolling down, I'm going to click in this database here, anywhere within the range here, and then come up, click on the Insert tab, and let's do a pie chart. Click on the drop down arrow. We'll do a 3D pie chart, click on it. So I've got a slice, and I can look at my legend what each slice represents as far as the color goes. Let's see, human resources looks like it's this slice right here. When I hover over it, it tells me human resources. Great, gives me the value too, 1000. Click and drag this down so I can put it right next to the table, then click off in a blank area and enjoy my charts. Now there's one other way that you can create a chart really fast. Click in any one of these tables here, or your databases, and all you have to do is hit F11 on the keyboard. When I hit F11, it automatically creates a default chart, which is the bar chart. It dumps it on its own worksheet. Down below you can see it's called Chart 1. Going back to Sheet 1 are all the remainder of my charts and my embedded object charts here. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, as soon as I upload a new video, you'll be notified instantly, and you can do that by coming over here and clicking on my face. You can also click here to support me, so for $2 a month, you can have access to over 2,700 training videos, all ad-free, and for a few bucks more, you can have access to my exercises, instructor notes, quizzes, certificate of completion, and a whole lot more.